Yo, what's good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned with yet another Grand Cross video. I'm sorry, I had to make sure my microphone was locked in there. But yes, we're back with another Grand Cross video. And guys, I have actually done a video breaking down this entire patch notes. You can check that video out. Hopefully that's popping up on the screen somewhere for you. That video is literally uploading right now as I record this video. But I've already covered all the stuff in the patch notes, but I do want to go over some things individually in their own videos because they're just that important. And I feel like some people maybe think, why does the dead man do an entire patch notes video and then go back and do individual videos on different things in the patch notes? Because some of the stuff in the patch notes is not important enough for its own video, but I still cover it if I cover the entire patch notes, versus some things are very important. So if you guys do like these character breakdown analysis videos, giving my ratings on how good or bad the character is, and this is also kind of going to be like a little should you summon, but summoning is a no-brainer for the celebration, I feel like. But like, yeah, if you like these character breakdown, should you summon style type of videos, then you can definitely go down below, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time as the dead man hits the twilight eye glide. I don't know, I'm trying to find something that fits a little bit better than light and dark glide. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and get right into Tristan's kit here. So before we even get into Tristan's kit, one thing that I do want to say is it is very good that they have added light and dark into the game as like a unison kind of like typing, because that just changes how characters are going to be released in the future, right? The first time we got a light character or the first time we got a dark character, it did revolutionize the game because light and dark brought their own extra like caveats with them in comparison to all the other colors. And also light and dark units came far and few in between because they were just like that impactful for the game. So this unit is kind of like a new generation, I think, of like character that they're about to start working on. Because if you think about it, the past few celebrations that we've had, they've kind of been spamming individual like race teams, like units back to back to back to back. So way back when not way back, but like the last time I was playing Grand Cross consistently was probably during the not even the Eminence and Shadow celebration, but the anniversary, the 6th anniversary with King and Deanne, right? So, but leading up to that, I remember playing the Eminence and Shadow collab, getting lucky on the banners, getting all of those characters, and then King and Deanne came out, and then that right there, that was like a full fairy team that they had given you, right? And then I remember I got my Lancelot, and I started working on Lancelot, and then they LR'd Hellbrum right at the end of it, and it was like, okay, not only have you gotten like 3 different characters who count as fairies, I know Beta and Alpha, and don't judge me, I don't watch the show. I know Beta and Alpha are fairies. I don't know if Sid is a fairy, but Sid did still kind of have some synergy amongst that team, right? But even if all 3 of them are not fairies, we got 2 fairies right there. We got one with King and Deanne, and they were a hell of a unit when they came out, and they're still a hell of a unit. And then literally we got LR Hellbrum. So quite literally an entire overhaul for the fairy team in one sitting. Then what was it next? Was it Demons next? What do we get? We got LR Cusack. We got what's her name? Gelda. There we go, Auntie Gelda. We got Gelda. We got the new Meliodas, who was incredible. We got the new Demon King. So it's like they have been kind of spamming specific races over and over and over again on these past few celebrations. We literally just got a bunch of like, we got a new Droll. We got I don't even know, Scold. Is that her name? Scold. The new chick, the new giant chick, and then we also got Loki, right? So we got a bunch of new giants. Like, y'all see my point. We got a bunch of characters that were of the same race back to back to back to back, and it felt, I don't know, it felt like if you weren't willing to be sweaty and spend the utmost money, it felt like it was kind of hard to keep up with the meta for a little bit because, you know, all of a sudden, this race is the best team, and then all of a sudden, for the next month or two, this race is the best team, right? Now, I think this is a good thing because not only are the characters that are releasing multi-race at this point because they're Four Knights of Apocalypse characters, that's only going to be the Four Knights characters also. Like, that's only going to be the Four Knights characters who are like that. But even still, I do feel like it's nice that we're getting characters that are like multi-race, because even if you did spam 3 characters back to back that were all multi-race characters, you are not just buffing one race individually. You are buffing a bunch of different races collectively. So I think that making the move towards, it's like every 4 COA unit they release, they add some new thing, and as they add these new things, it feels like they try to regularize these new things, right? So not only did when Lancelot came out. Not only did Lancelot introduce talents, I'm pretty sure, but Lancelot was the first unit who was like this, right? And now, you know, down the road, we have another unit who is both types here. When that new Tristan that recently dropped, was he not both of these types instead of being like an unknown? But also, now we have dual color units, right? So now I think that we're not going to see a dual color unit every single time we get a brand new unit, right? But we could see, like, okay, for instance, we get a new Lancelot, and Lancelot could be a mix in between the best Elaine we've ever had in the game and the best Bond we've ever had in the game, right? So they could be a mix of those two colors, something of that nature. And honestly, I think Lancelot deserves to be a light character, to be honest, especially with the move Shining Road. But that is besides the point right now. They are just adding new things onto the characters that they did not used to do before, and it is making character, not even development, yes, character development is just becoming more intricate now. Because all of a sudden, it's not just a matter of, okay, what one race is this character? Is this character going to be, which two races are this character, right? And obviously that's predetermined by the characters in the show already because of how the show plays out. But now it's like, okay, do we want to make this character one of the 5 colors? Or do we want to make them one of, oh, I don't even know how many times you can command. I don't even know how many times you can combine 2 colors and how many combos you get off of that, which is a damn shame because I'm a strong Magic the Gathering player, so I should know that a little bit better. But yes, now we are going to have an extra little layer of surprise to these characters coming out if they want to keep pushing, you know, these half and half colored characters. And before I really break down this kit, I do just want to say, I am still very proud of Netmarble for doing something like this because I'm making my own gacha game called Sign of the Story of Incredible People, and it's going to have 5 colors in it. It's going to be blue, red, green, purple, yellow. That's like the most basic color setup in gacha games in general, right? But one of the things that I was going to do in my game was eventually very deep into the game, probably not 6.5 years deep, but like very deep into the game, I was eventually going to implement some sort of system where characters can be multiple colors, right? And I was going to have it be something along the lines of when the entire... So for instance, if Tristan was a character in my game, the way I would have done it, whenever you have a team of full light allies, this happens. Whenever you have a team of full dark allies, this happens. If you have a team that has light and dark allies, this happens instead. Right now, where this Tristan kind of is kind of like, he's kind of like sitting in that middle point where it's like, okay, this is all just happening all the time for every unit on the team, which is cool. I don't hate that. But I think that if he had a thing set up to where it said, when the entire team is light, this. Whenever the entire team is dark, this. Or even when the entire team is demons, this. When the entire team is goddess, this. If you have a mix of goddess and demons, this. Right? I think that'd just be really cool because it would make team building a little bit more interesting for these characters. I think for the most part, team building is pretty simple in this game now, right? There's backline units for each race that you typically are like your stock standard ones that you're going to be throwing in there. And then also you there's always like the top, 3 characters that you're always putting on a team. But with this, Tristan obviously has multiple teams, 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, demons, and goddesses, yes. But with it being like an all-light team versus all-dark because we've been in an era of them making it race-based teams forever, or characteristic-based teams forever. And we've kind of jumped away from that mono-color team type of thing, which, to be fair, yes, mono teams is a very basic concept. But when the characters are as unique as they are now, I could have a mono red team and still have the entire team be doing some stupidly crazy effects. It's just a matter of how they want to design the characters in the future. Especially when I think that characters like Percival, or maybe not Percival's like a bad example. I feel like Percival is a clear light character. Honestly, any of the 4 Knights of Apocalypse are clear light characters, I think so. But even still, every single version of those characters are not going to be light and dark. We've already gotten a Lancelot that's blue. We've already gotten a Percival that's green. But I'm going to stop glazing. They did an excellent job doing this dual typing thing. But now we're going to go ahead and break down Tristan's kit. For each applicable ally, for each demon, goddess, or 4 Knights of the Apocalypse unit or ally participating in battle, their basic stats increase by 5%, and all stats of the hero increase by 5% as well. So, in a nutshell, if you are a demon, a goddess, 4 Knights of Apocalypse, or Tristan, your stats are getting increased by 5% for every other character of those typings that are on the field. So everybody on the front line, if you're in a game mode that has 4 different characters like on the front line, all units should be getting 20% extra stats from this. If it's a regular game mode where it's only 3 on the front line, then all units are getting 15% stats. All that means still 15 to 20% extra stats on all your characters at a base. Very good. This seems like a very base common thing that they're just adding to every character at this point, kind of like how in Dokkan every single character that comes out now has some form of defensive mechanic, and what makes the ones better than the others is how the defensive mechanics are layered, right? Every character gives extra stats, but what makes these characters good or bad is the extra stuff they do on top of that, because now stats are just kind of like we just kind of need that at a base level. Okay. Gains Dawn Blessing at the start of battle, and this doesn't save for any number of turns, so Dawn's Blessing should always be there. Gains Dawn's Blessing at the start of battle. Dawn's Blessing is 20% boost to basic stats, and then applicable allies take 60% reduced damage. There we go. 60% reduced damage. Now, these values are red here. Any value that is red in the character skill description or anything of that nature changes with the ultimate level. So let me go ahead and just take a look at this. Applicable allies, damage taken minus 60%. If you have him 1 out of 6, that damage taken is going to be 30%. Level 2 ultimate is also going to be 30%. Level 3 ultimate is going to be 50%. Level 4 ultimate is 50%. And then level 5 ultimate is 60%. And level 6 ultimate is 60%. So obviously getting him 6/6 is going to get him the 60%, the best for what you need. But if you get him at 1 out of 6, I would say a 30% damage reduction is still not bad. So I feel like Tristan's going to be very impressive. Like at 1 out of 6, I personally want him 6 out of 6. I say 5 out of 6 at least, because all of these other buffs besides his damage dealt increase get up to their maximum level, and I can live without the extra 10% damage dealt increase. But I mean, like, at the point that you're at 5 out of 6, are you not sweaty enough to go for 6 out of 6? I don't know. Okay. Applicable allies damage taken from skills during the enemy's turn does not exceed 70% of maximum HP. So you can get counterattacked on your own turn. You know what I'm saying? You can get damage reflect or something like that on your own turn. So instead of you taking a full, damage reflect or full counter, you're going to be getting the damage taken reduced by 60%. Then when it actually is the enemy's turn, the enemy is actively attacking you. You have a damage cap, so the enemy cannot exceed more than 70% of your maximum HP. So they can do up to 70% HP, so you can still get 2 tapped, but you can't get 1 tapped. So kind of solid. Then right here, if we go back down to the ult effects, if you have level 1 ultimate, your damage cap is going to be 80% of your HP instead of 70%. And then once you get up to level 2 and beyond that, your damage cap is 70% consistently, right? So it looks like the main things that you are changing, if you're trying to go deep into the dupes, is going to be the damage dealt increase with the Twilight Covenant, and also the this right here, the allies damage taken reduction, right? Those are the main things that you're really pushing if you're like leveling this up. Because even when you get to level 2 right here for the removing all buff effects, which I haven't even read that yet, but there's an effect that you get on his ultimate as well that unlocks at level 2. But let's continue looking through the kit. If Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion are active on the hero, Twilight's Covenant is applied on the hero at the start of the ally's turn once. So, Twilight Covenant, all stats plus 20%, so that's 20% on top of the other 20% you're already getting from Dawn's Blessing. And 20% is at the start of the battle. All stats 20%, damage dealt plus 110%, fixes damage taken from skills during the enemy's turn to 1 damage, and the effect is removed after taking damage. So it's that Milim type of effect, right? Where after you do this certain thing, you're going to be taking... Oh, what is Milim's? Milim's is every time somebody on your team or the enemy team dies, you take 1 damage for the next hit you take, right? But if you kill 2 enemies in 1 turn, then Milim takes 1 damage 2 times back to back. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Right here for Tristan, it's just saying that it can't stack that way. It only happens like once. But there is a little interesting part to his kit where you can kind of make it happen again. But I just want to go ahead and just point out to you guys, not only are you getting 20% all stats from Twilight's Covenant, which is from Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion at the same time. Y'all don't know what Shadow's Dominion yet is. Wait. You're also getting the 20% basic stats from Dawn's Blessing, and what Shadow's Domain from his talent is going to be giving you 50% attack related stats and for 2 turns. And it's going to ignore 80% of the target's crit defense, and if the hero's skill results in a crit, ignores 80% of the target's crit defense if the hero crits. So basically what you're going to be giving yourself is all stats plus 40%. When you activate all three of these, the trifecta, you're going to be getting 40%, well, 20% to your basic stats, another 20% to your basic stats, but also 20% to every other stat because this was all stats. And then also you're going to be getting an additional 50% boost to attack related stats. So do you know what that translates to, chat? Tristan hits incredibly freaking hard is what that translates to. When the hero dies, he revives himself once with the same amount of HP he had once. And dying from reflected damage does not result in a revival, but the resurrection count is still consumed. The unique ability activates first if there is another buff with the same effect. So I think he can have 2 revives. I believe so, is how that sounds to me. But gains Twilight Covenant and resets the talent turn cooldown when using a skill to defeat an enemy. So whenever he gains Twilight's Covenant, whenever he kills an enemy, he automatically gains Twilight's Covenant. Another thing that he automatically gains is the cooldown back on his talent. So if you turn 1, killed somebody with Tristan and used his talent to get the extra damage, right? And you absolutely just rip through somebody like paper and kill an enemy on the enemy team, Tristan's going to be able to just use his talent again the next turn. This, hands down, is probably the best talent that they've released so far because King and Deanne's talent is really good, but once you use that, it's like it gives you damage reduction, I'm pretty sure. But like that damage reduction, I still be getting washed through that. This is gonna make it so that you're basically guaranteed one-tapping enemies, unless they're running a team of characters who have damage caps, right? But this is gonna be making it so that you can damn near one-tap enemies, if not one-tapping enemies. And then the next turn that comes around is gonna be reset. You're gonna get Twilight's Covenant, which is gonna be giving you extra 20% to all stats, and you're gonna be able to use the talent again, and get your 50% attack-related stats again. And also, it doesn't say that Shadow Dominion does not stack. So could you turn 1, use Shadow's Dominion, kill somebody, then turn 2, use Shadow's Dominion again and get 100% boost to your attack-related stats? I'm not saying that's how that works. I just need to know if that's how that works. Comment down below and let me know, chat. But yes, very, very interesting passive and talent alone. This man is absolutely diabolical for all of what I just read here. Now, if we look at his actual skills, his skill damage looks like it's going to be scaling very nicely as well. Inflicts Dawn damage equal to 500% of attack on a single enemy. So a single target doing 500% of his attack. And what Dawn does is 2 times crit chance increase. Also, there's no way that Tristan's just not critting all the time, right? There's no way Tristan's not critting all the time. Because you're going to be increasing your attack-related stats. You're going to be really increasing all stats. He has, I'm pretty sure his actual just like stats base are actually at pretty good levels for like all of his substats and everything. I'm pretty sure those are at pretty good levels. But then you got this doubling his crit chance. And also, not only is it doubling his crit chance, additional damage equal to 30% of the hero's maximum HP is going to be dealt. And then damage dealt with skills are plus 100 extra percent whenever he has Twilight's Covenant going on. So if you get that Twilight Covenant seems like the main piece to his kit here. You want to constantly have that going on, or you want to constantly have his Goddess buff, his Dawn's Blessing is always going to be there. You want to get that Shadow's Dominion as much as you can. You want to be killing enemies as fast as you can with Tristan specifically. So even though he is a very big, crazy, good DPS, turns where he's going to do most of the damage to the enemy team and somebody else gets the kill, not going to work for him. You want to be getting those kills with him. But either way, he's going to be a crazy piece to your team. And honestly, guys, I think he's going to be as impactful as 300 day Trader Meliodas, 3,000 year Meliodas, because the war was 3,000 years ago. Is that what it is? It's Trader Meliodas though. I think that this Tristan's going to be as impactful as Trader Meliodas. Is going to last as long. I personally think so, because again, like I said, he is the first dual color unit, so he's setting a new precedent for the game. So he's probably going to last for a while, because wasn't Purgatory Meliodas the first dark unit? So probably could be the same thing going on. That's called Twinkling Star, by the way. Then his second skill is called Enchant Hellbringer. This one is an AoE. Inflicts dusk damage equal to 390% of attack on all enemies. So guys, now remember how I said his attack related stats are getting buffed by 50% from one thing, and then his all stats are getting buffed by 20% from another thing? So whatever his pierce rate is at the moment of you using Hellbringer, it's gonna get multiplied by 5. I don't think I've ever seen a multiplier for ×5 pierce rate on a single skill in this game. Let alone, it's also going to be getting an extra 50% damage dealt for each Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion. So, does that just mean an extra 100%? You know what? Because I don't know if those can stack amongst themselves. Shadow's Dominion might be able to stack amongst itself, but I'm pretty sure Dawn's Blessing is just like a one-time thing that's at the start of the fight. So, if you can stack Shadow's Dominion, then maybe you can see some really nutty damage with this. But like, even if you can't stack it, that's still an extra 100% damage if you're essentially in Twilight's Covenant. Basically, what this is saying is, if you're in Twilight's Covenant, an extra 100% damage because Dawn's Blessing and Shadow's Dominion activates Twilight's Covenant. But yeah, this man's just going to be hitting really hard just with the innate abilities and descriptions of his skills, right? So I'm going to be talking about what gear sets you should be putting on this man, or what gear set I'm going to put on him. I don't like to tell people what to do for this game because, like, I've been playing this game since the first, like, month of the game being out. But also, I'm always in and out on the game, and so much new stuff gets added while I'm out of the game that, like, I feel like, not that I'm not in a place to advise people, but, like, I just feel like people are just going to look at me and be like, well, you don't even play for real. Like, that's fair. That's fair. I play sometimes, but I love 7 Deadly Sins, and I love 4 Koa, so we're here. Dual Providence. Removes buffs from all allies, gains Twilight Covenant, and inflicts Dawn damage equal to 600% of attack on all enemies. I do kind of dislike the fact that they show you the level at max because there's so much stuff that gets gained. Like, I would like if they started showing you these passives. Obviously, the passives won't look as impressive if they show you everything if the ultimate is at level 1, but it's a more genuine depiction of how the character is going to be performing because you're showing us this is 6 out of 6. If I want to spend my money in 6 out of 6 that's cool. That's fine. I'm allowed to make that decision. I'm a grown-ass man. But everybody's not trying to do that. So I say that you should start doing these and showing the lowest capabilities of the kit. Because in all reality, Dawn's Blessing is going to give you the 20% basic stats, and then allies damage is going to be allies damage taken is going to be minus 30%, and the damage cap is going to be 80% on the HP, which obviously does not sound as good as this, right? But they're just showing this to try and entice you to summon more. And this right here, this buff right here kind of sucks because like this buff increases every ult level. So this one kind of makes you want to get to 6 out of 6 because like, okay, not every ult level, but 70, 70, 90, 90, 100, 110. So they couldn't leave it at the 100 at 5 out of 6. They wanted to try to push you a little bit further and make you do that 6 out of 6 instead of 5 out of 6. But yes, kit looks very excellent. I will say, one, I think that you absolutely should summon. It is a no-brainer. The banner is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to actually do a separate video talking about the banner altogether. And also, let's take a look at this because I did not look at this in my patch notes breakdown. No copyrights, though. So Tristan's art, like even his little fly-in animation, I think is like super sick. Like I think they did an excellent job with this man, Tristan, like through and through. From making him dual colors to how his arts look. His costumes could have been a little bit better, but like for the most part, I'm satisfied with what I'm getting here. So this is the ultimate here. So he does Falling Star, then he flies through the Falling Star, then he bodies you first, and then he flies away and lets the Falling Star finish you up. That is so freaking sick, man. Like I am kind of to a point where I am thinking about taking off skip ultimates just so I can watch this ultimate whenever I use this man Tristan here. But this has also just got me thinking, man, if this is the 6.5, what is 7 year gonna be? What is 7 year gonna be? Is it gonna be a Bond in the lane? I'd be down. But yeah, I don't wanna hold you guys hostage too much longer in this video here. Yes, the gear that I would give to this man Tristan is probably gonna be HP crit. Because he does already have a naturally high crit rate built in, but however much extra crit rate that I can give him, or crit damage, whichever one, however much extra I can give him to guarantee that he is critting, and or when he crits, he is doing that crazy damage like I want to see, right? Whatever's going to guarantee that more so, I'm going to build into that. The reason why I'm saying I'm going to give him HP is because he has so many different innate things that are just boosting his damage a crazy amount in his kit, that you're kind of like, yo, whether I give him HP or not, he's going to be hitting hard regardless. But his single target skill does have extra damage scaling based off of 30% of his maximum HP. Not current HP, maximum HP. So that means that if your HP value is higher than regular, this skill should be hitting exceedingly hard versus somebody who's going to be using an attack crit set. If you want to maximize his damage, probably go attack crit. If you want to go for CC, probably go HP defense. If you want to know my personal opinion though, I think that HP for the 4-piece and crit rate for the 2-piece is probably gonna be the best bet for this Tristan. And I could be wrong. We'll see how everybody else tries to build this unit out. And if you want my recommendation for where you should be getting him ult level wise, I would say just get him to 2 out of 6, just because 2 out of 6 unlocks everything in his kit. May not be the best version of everything, but you are giving the allies reduced damage taken. You are also given the increase on the damage cap at 2 out of 6 actually, and that is the highest level for the damage cap right there, so that's not bad. Then, you know, Twilight's Covenant damage dealt increase isn't going to change, but at the very least, at least you're removing all buffs with your ultimate at that point. So I think that everybody should maybe shoot for a 2 out of 6, because not only are we going to have a second part to the celebration, and the second part to the celebration could be another 4-core unit who could be a very incredible backline or just a very incredible addition to the team in general, but also, or it could not be a 4-core unit. We could get a Meliodas or an Elizabeth, but I'll be honest with you, we just recently got a Meliodas as a secondary celebration unit whenever it came to Gelda, and I guess that wasn't like a major celebration, but even still, they have broken the mold and given us assault mode Meliodas as the secondary unit. So I feel like they're gonna chill out on Meliodas for a little bit, or maybe they're gonna save Meliodas for the end of year celebration. But right now, the two things that I'm mainly looking forward now to is, well, caveat, I'm always looking forward to more Four Knights of the Apocalypse stuff. But if the things in between are not Four Knights of the Apocalypse, the only thing that I'm looking forward to is the end of year celebration, obviously. And even if it's not a Four Knights character, I don't know. Like, bro, that's how much I like Four Knights of the Apocalypse. I'm not saying that 7 Deadly Sins is just dead to me, but I'm just like, at the point that you're still showing up with 7 Deadly Sins characters, and I'm waiting for the game to transfer over to Four Knights, I'm just kind of like, okay, bro, I don't know. It's got to be extremely tantalizing as a character for me to like go in and delve in and summon. It's got to be a variant of Bond, Escanor, or King, to be honest with you. That base take, Meliodas actually is not one of my top 3 characters in the show. Crazy based take, I know. But yeah, Meliodas is not one of my favorite top 3 characters in the show. Like, Meliodas was designed to be cool as hell. The main character is always designed to be cool as hell, right? Meliodas, and Meliodas is a fire character, but like, come on, bro. Look at Escanor. Look at Escanor, everything Escanor did. Escanor sat every demon down. At some point, Escanor had to set every demon down. And even pulled up on a goddess. Okay, you look at King. King is literally so overpowered. This man unlocked the final form of himself and was able to do multiple different modes with his spear on autopilot from long range. King is a menace. And like the versatility for King's skill set and the amount of different characters and different things they can do with King will always stand. And then Bond is #1 aura farmer in 7 Deadly. Come on now. #1 aura farmer, bro. But yes, right now what I'm looking forward to is end of year celebration and the 7-year anniversary. I think the 7-year anniversary is going to crack the whole damn case, because the 6.5 anniversary is already cracking the whole damn case. But yeah, if you're looking for any recommendations on Tristan, you should summon. This is the best banner ever in the game, ever. 2 out of 6 is going to be good enough for him. I think if you're a free-to-play player and you really want to get all the parts of his kit, 2 out of 6 I think will probably be the best bet for you. And also, HP crit is what I'm feeling for the gear set. But if you guys see differently, then go down below and comment and let me know what you do want to know. Wait, that was incorrect. Comment down below and let me know what else you think about Tristan, how you're going to build him, if you're going to be summoning for him, if you're going to skip him, which is nutty to think somebody's skipping him. But yes, if you guys did enjoy the video, you can go down below, leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can get notified every single time the dead man hits the Twilight Covenant glide. But that's going to be it for your boy, DEADMANVINCE. Remember, the dead man does love ya. Peace.